Namaste, everyone. On behalf of the Asian Literary Society Hyderabad chapter, I, Srishti Singh, would like to welcome everyone. I'm joined with Sonal Singh, the chapter head of Hyderabad Literary Society, and today we have a very beautiful and warm guest, Rohini Jayanti. Rohini is a lady who loves experimenting with anything she finds new and works hard towards achieving it. Her educational background is a reflection of her experiments. A postgraduate in information technology, a cost accountant, masters in English language, a storyteller, a yoga instructor, a classical singer, a soft skill trainer, a certificate mindfulness coach, and the list goes on. Her flair for writing landed her in technical her flair for writing landed her in technical writing with different IT firms, but her love for her daughter turned her into a wonderful homemaker, and now she gets true happiness in narrating stories and also penning down poems and short stories and articles. She's the founder and initiator of Story Pound and Beyond Academics, and motivates and transforms children and adults and brings out their creative and innovative potential through her stories and creative writing, which are now merged under a single banner called Katha Caravan. Uh, Sonal, can we have Jayanti Rohini on the screen right now? Hi, Rohini. Welcome
Hi,
to the
Srishti.
Hyderabad chapter of Asian Literary Society.
Thank you so much, Srishti. Thank you for such a beautiful introduction.
You wear so many feathers to your hat, so I'm quite. That's quite a beautiful thing that you're doing. So, Rohini, just tell me that from a tech professional to a storyteller, your journey seems to be from heart, head to heart. Tell us about this turn of events when you switched over from an IT professional and you became a storyteller.
Yeah. To begin with, as I have mentioned, the flair for writing has landed me as a technical writer. I work for Wipro, I work for Satyam and many other companies, and also, as a freelance consultant also. But I couldn't manage my, professional life and the personal life. It could not balance somehow. So I just thought, I would take a break and be, a proper mother, a caring mother who can give complete attention to her daughter, something like that. And years passed, and I also joined as a kindergarten teacher along with my child. I used to go to her school, spend time with her as a teacher and come back home. So that is how my journey was going on. When all of a sudden, one fine day, I can say, I don't think. I am not from a family of storytellers or whatever it is. Storytelling and writing, I can say, is a miracle that has happened to me. It's just a miracle, I can say, because when your intention is very strong, and when you start exploring different avenues, different mediums, to find that kind of a platform wherein you feel contented, wherein you feel that it is very close to your heart and soul.
Yes.
In between the journey has lots of obstacles, lots of hurdles. So there were different paths that were laid down in front of me. I used to just enter into and come back to the same circle again, crossroads again, and again used to enter and come back to the same crossroads again. And when I entered into this land, this path or journey of storytelling, I did not come back. So I
It's
stayed
the
there.
land is so it's like almost like an ocean that you are
Yes,
delving and finding so many
it's
things to tell about.
exact
Yeah. It's like an
exactly. It's
ocean
an
as well as the sky. It's like
ex-
infinite.
it was infinite, and there was no chance for me to look back. Even, I just started journeying. I just started traveling throughout, exploring whatever was coming in my way and picking up.
So,
And
what's
so
your
that is
genre
how.
of your storytelling? Like, you basically go for moral stories, or and what is your age limit of the children you tell stories to your audience?
Yeah, I don't have any restrictions. I don't fix myself to one particular genre. No, I take up stories, related to humor, element of humor in it, stories having the elements of, kindness, compassion in it, stories that have the element of pain and, agony, feeling of losing somebody. Every kind of genre I just pick up. And, more like, depending upon the situation, depending upon the audience, and audience also, they vary. Like, I take up story sessions for 4-year kids to 15-year children, and also teens, and also to adults till 60
It's
years and
easier
70 years.
to manage the attention of children, but how do you manage the attention of teens and adults? Because children, they still listen. They have so many elements that they are surprised, and small little things really makes them happy and all. But to get the attention of adults and teens, these days they really don't sit to listen to stories. So how do you hold their attention?
Yeah, that was very difficult for me initially when I've just entered into the land of storytelling. It was very difficult for me. I used to get scared also. Like initially, my stories were all recorded ones. I never used to go live. They were all recorded ones, and I used to just share on different platforms. And it was one fine day, one friend of mine, Kshamata from Katha and Craft, she said, "No, Rohini, it is time for you. You have to do a live one." And just she pushed me, and it was the adult audience for the very
Was the
first
takeoff
time.
platform
Yeah.
for you?
Yes, I can say that. I can say that. So,
Yeah.
and the stories that I have chosen, probably, the story has chosen me. Rather, I
Oh,
say, कि I have chosen this particular story to narrate to this particular set of audience. Always the story has been choosing me. Because, sometimes whenever I listen to a story, whenever I read a story, that stays with me. And, a particular moment comes and the story calls me, like, this is the time, like, Rohini, you have to narrate this story. This is apt for this moment. And that is
yes.
how I have been doing stories till today, even till now.
So
Never.
you write stories, you narrate stories written by you, or you pick it up from here and there somewhere, like
No.
yeah, that, or
Yes,
you
sometimes.
go with a particular particular this thing that I have to read these stories, like folklore, or cultural stories, or stories with moral values.
Yeah, it depends on the theme. Sometimes, for certain, I want to say for certain events, we will have a specific theme. So I have to pick up such stories. But most of the times, not the stories which I have written. That is very rare. So far, only 2 to 3 stories I have narrated, which I have written. Rest of
Okay.
the things, if I pick up a story, also I would just adapt the story, and add some masala to it, to make it little
Okay.
spicier or something, to little
Okay.
sober.
You give a twist to it. Yeah.
Exactly. So always I pick up a story, I take the basic theme of it, and I weave around certain words or certain sentences and create it. So it is not like, just you read a story and tell the same story. It is like, retelling a story. Always, retelling a story in your own words, in your own expressions, in your own, thought processes, adding the thoughts and all those things. And it is not specific that it is only moral stories or it is only folklore or something like that. I always see to it that a story sometimes has an element of humor, sometimes has an element of it carries a message. I'm not strict with it. Okay? My stories should always be like that.
Okay.
They
Rohini,
are they
you're
keep
also
changing.
into, yes, yes. You're also into puppet show and Kamishibai, if I am not wrong pronouncing it, Kamishibai
Yes,
theater. So
yes,
puppet show, shadow puppet, we do know. And but
yes.
tell us about this Kamishibai theater thing.
Yeah. Kamishibai actually is a Japanese form of storytelling. It's a street theater, they used to call it in olden days, wherein the teller Kamishibaya, he carries a theater box. He also has a stage that is called as a butai, on which he places this particular theater box. And the Kamishibai storytelling is a way of representing stories through story cards or picture cards,
Okay,
what we call as. So every story
okay,
has got a picture in the front, and at the back side there is this text related to that particular picture. It is a very beautiful way of engaging kids or adults or whomsoever it is. From the olden days it has been started. So it has started, and the children, they get captivated whenever they see the picture first of all. And
yes,
when sometimes they just go back the screen and also read the text. So a
okay,
beautiful way of engaging children in the modern world where televisions and all those things are coming up. Children,
yes,
they totally glued to the screen
yes,
environment.
yes.
Kamishibai is a beautiful way of capturing children's or adults audience through this kind of, using the olden techniques. So that is what
So,
it is.
Rohini, we have some young audience also with us today because we told that Rohini is coming and she's a storyteller. So, would you like to show us some of your skills?
Definitely. I would
Yeah,
like to do a Kamishibai storytelling story.
yeah, we
Give
will
me
love
just
to
a
see that.
moment.
Yes,
Yeah, give
yes.
me just a moment so that I can make this setting.
Yeah,
Just a
this is
moment.
the time I can ask the audience if they have anything to ask. for Rohini, they can just type in their questions and let me know whatever they want to ask. So we all know that Rohini has been wearing so many feathers in her hat, and this is one thing which she is so passionate about. She has been telling stories, writing stories, and she's also helping children in her in own small way by making them understand the creative writing skills. And she comes up with anthologies where small children take part, and she's doing a lot to help the younger generation still hold the paper and pen and write something, because everybody is these days are so glued to internet and video games that I think she's doing a commendable job by motivating children to do. And her telling skills are really commendable. She recently was applauded by Chandigarh. There was some community in Chandigarh in Sector 17 where her telling skills were really applauded. So she's back with her Kamishibai. This is
Yeah,
your
can you?
platform for your Kamishibai.
Yes, this is the Kamishibai theater box.
Okay.
So these are the picture cards. So can you see, Srishti, is it clear? Right. So, good evening, everybody. And this is a cute little story written by cute little girl, Kushi Seth. It's a real story. It's a real experience that has happened to her. Kushi is, 12 years old girl studying in Tagore International School, Vasant Vihar. And this story I have picked up from a beautiful book, My Act of Heart, curated by Deepika Ahuja and Anjali Sharma, written by Kushi Seth. A Day at the Blind School is the title of the story. Kushi and her little sister Ashi were very excited. Why? Because they were going to a blind school as part of representing their team at Itihas Anveshan competition this year. Every year, Kushi school had a different theme, and this year the theme was inclusion of specially abled kids in all the fields. And Neetu madam, the teacher, had come up with this wonderful concept of taking them to a blind school wherein children can experience the lifestyle of the children and learn what inclusion actually is. And here are Kushi and Ashi rushing in their mother's car on the way to the school to perform there. And they also had to compose a beautiful song and sing there. So they were very excited. And when they reached the school, and when they reached the school, the teacher, along with the other students, were all waiting over there. And in fact, they were welcomed by the staff of the school. And just that moment, when they were all about to go and enter into the corridor, Kushi saw her little sister. One second. Kushi saw her little sister going and jumping up in joy because she saw two of her friends, Umang and Mansi, there. You know, some of the children at the blind school also attend regular classes at other schools. So, two children, Umang and Mansi, were such two kids who used to study at Kushi's and Ashi's school. And Ashi was very excited. She just went and jumped and screamed and yelled in excitement. Umang and Mansi also heard Ashi's voice. They were also equally excited. Ashi, anyway, was not a participant. She was not a part of the competition. So she decided to spend the whole day with Umang and Mansi. And It was time that the children were taken to a tour through the entire school. They were shown different classes. They were shown the entire environment. They were shown the lifestyle, the way the children at the blind school, that is, the visually impaired children, carry on with their regular works. And so, Kushi and Ashi, and all of the kids, in fact, they saw many children. Some of them were, struggling. Some of them were striving, and some of them were totally engrossed in learning their script, that is the Braille script. They were trying ways and means with all their heart and soul to get into that, to understand that. And after the tour of the entire school was completed, their teacher, Neetu Madam, wanted to discuss what they have totally understood that day, what they have gone through, what were their experiences for the day. And so she brought all of them together at one place and they all started discussing. Some of them said that, we have met a particular child who was, she is in the initial stages of learning Braille, and some others said, like, it is a good experience for us. So lots of conversations were going on when Kushi, that is the elder one, just caught a glimpse of her little sister Ashi. And you know what Ashi was doing? Ashi was playing. She was playing with her friends Umang and Mansi. They were totally engrossed in their own conversations, which nobody else could understand. She did not have any kind of a discrimination that Umang and Mansi were visually impaired. She was totally lost in their world. In fact, there was a smile on their faces, there was joy and excitement on their faces. Kushi, Ashi's elder sister, was quite surprised looking at it. We were brought here to learn about inclusion. We were brought here to experience the life of the visually impaired children, physically challenged children. But her little sister Ashi was already living that inclusion. She was not taught, but she had that element of compassion already built within her. And so, amidst the dark lives of the visually impaired children, Ashi was a ray of hope. She brought all the smiles, all the laughter. She created a beautiful world for them. Kushi was so excited. Ashi went to her mother, brought some sweets and chocolates, and took them back to her friends Umang and Mansi. Though Umang and Mansi could not see anything, they could taste it, they could experience the taste of the sweets. And now the day has come to an end, and they all had to go back home. But Ashi did not want to leave her friends. So she just came back to her mother and whispered something in her ear. And her mother promised that every year for Diwali and every year for their birthdays, Umang and Mansi would be celebrating with Kushi and Ashi's family. And that year, for Diwali, Umang and Mansi joined Kushi's and Ashi's family. And from then onwards, every year, they were with their family. And that is how true inclusion is. Bringing a smile on somebody's face, a small act of kindness, a small act of compassion that is going to bring in change in everybody's lives. That is a cute little story written by Kushi Seth in the book My Act of Heart. Thank you so very much for giving this opportunity. Thank you,
That
sister.
was so beautiful, Rohini. I mean, I was so carried away the way you told the story. The story itself was so beautiful, and it told so much of compassion and human values. but the way
Yes.
you recited, the way, I was literally going to have a tear dropping down my eyes towards the end. It was so beautifully stated.
Thank
And
you. Thank
you
you
were
so
getting
much.
lots of compliments by our viewers. You can see them later. And it was
Yes.
really wonderful, very well presented. And I must say that you are an awesome, awesome storyteller. You really, your voice, your modulation, it really captures the audience. Very
Thank you
nice.
so
Many
much.
congratulations. That's a big talent that you're having. And now
Thank you
we
so
know that
very much.
why all the children they love you so much for your storytelling.
Thank you so very much. It means a lot. I'm really happy.
So
Like I could be
you
the
can
commissioner
read.
by
A
you.
lot of people are giving you a lot of compliments. You can read them later.
Yes,
So
sure, sure.
coming back to our next question, Rohini,
Yes.
what inspired you to make story porn and beyond academics?
Yeah. Actually, like, as I told you, I was a technical writer, and I was also a technical, my initial, stages after my completion of my post graduation, I was a technical trainer. I worked for Wipro, wherein, I used to see freshers, I used to train them in different fields, their induction programs and all those things I used to take care of. So I have seen many students who are fresh graduates, they're very good technically, but when it comes to communication skills and other life skills, there was a lot of gap I have observed. Children should be taught life skills or soft skills at a very young age at their schools. I felt it is very important to them, because technically you're very sound, and when you're not able to communicate or share the knowledge which you have, the potential within you, it's mere waste. So that time after I quit my job, that had been in my mind for a very long time, and then I started beyond academics, wherein I used to go to schools and colleges and train children, imparting these kind of soft skills in them, communication skills, expression skills, public speaking skills, and
And we
also
can
for the.
see that through your the way you voice modulation and your the way you communicated the story, we can very well see that how well you do it, and we could feel the passion in your voice about it. So I'm very sure the children must be really benefiting and must be really enjoying, because
Yes.
this method Kamishibai is so beautiful. It was almost like watching a TV with those handmade pictures, and
Yes.
it's also told that it's an ancient way. So I can really imagine in the old days how children would have been so enraptured seeing this beautiful pictures and a
Exactly.
story together. That's really nice.
Exa-
Those slides and all.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so that is how beyond academics has come. And story pond also, I just started narrating stories at a kindergarten school, and when I quit the school, I just started, sharing one or two stories at different places. When Meera Bharat, the founder of Maya Katha
Yes,
Stories
yes.
Dance, she
We
was
all
the
know
one who
her.
just got hold of me. I really, she is my torchbearer, I can say. And it is her, and when I penned my first poem also, she was the one who just encouraged me to share it on, plethora bloggers, and I shared my poem. And she was the one who asked me to share it on Asian Literary Society, and that is the first
It
appreciation
was.
award I received from Asian Literary Society for the first poem I penned. So I'm
Okay.
really grateful to know certain people in my life, Monalisa Joshi ma'am, Meera Bharat, and through her only I got to know Anupama Dalmia, who had been really encouraging me thoroughly, like, coming this way. So because of all of them, and
You are actually talking about all the stellars. They are like a torchbearer in this
yes,
literary field. Yes, they are. They have
yes,
niche there.
they are
Absolutely.
such
So
beautiful people, so good at heart, actually, I can say. And many people for that matter, Shweta Singh, it's through her, I just got to understand what podcasting is. So many people, if I have to write a gratitude list, the list goes on continuously. I
I
take
think
an hour more than that.
in the Asian Literary Society and this platform, we are having so many stars among us. It's almost like a galaxy of stars with us.
Exactly, Srishti. And that is how I got to know you also. Through
Yes.
Artoons, and I got to know you. And you used to pen beautiful stories and poems and all, so many. So this thing, when it comes to short stories, the way she writes, God, I
That's
can,
what
like,
I'm
the list
saying. We
goes
are
on.
all like in this galaxy. All of us are like like small, small stars shining from here and there, all over.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
So on that note, I'll just ask you the last question, and because it's about to get time, it's about to be 7 o'clock. So,
Yes,
how is this Katha Karwan? Is Katha Karwan, right? So,
yes.
what is this, and how is it different from your other Story Pond and Beyond Academics?
Story Pond, beyond Story Pond is basically related to stories. All the storytelling events, all those things I used to take on Story Pond, and Beyond Academics is totally creative writing related one. Through Beyond Academics only, I used to organize creative writing events and showcase the talents of children different ages. Through it, I got published 2 books. Also, we got published through Beyond
Oh,
Academics
that's
only.
very nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So later on, I thought I wanted it to grow as a tribe. Both the platforms I used to handle it, on my own without anybody's, whatever support or bringing in
That
anybody.
we can
But
say you are a multitasking person. You have so many talents and commitments you are
no,
making
I,
single-handedly.
there are so many beautiful around. I just wanted it to grow as a tribe, including people from different domains, of expertise, including them and moving forward. And that is how I just started Katha Caravan. It's just 1 month old. January 1st week, I have started it. So it's just growing. I'm just adding
So
on people.
I on that, yes, that's a very nice thing. And this year, I'm wishing you on behalf of Asian Literary Society and everyone very all the best for your
Thank
Katha
you.
Caravan, and we hope it grows like the galaxy of stars. I was just say like
Yes,
that, and may you have
surely.
many stars in your Katha Caravan. And
Yes.
with that note, Rohini, I'd like to say thank you for giving us your precious time and coming over here
Sure.
and telling us a beautiful story and telling us about this what is that? Kashima
Kamishibai.
Bai.
Kamishibai.
And
Yes.
it was like very enlightening to see the technique of storytelling. And
Thank you
we
so
would like
much.
to say thank you. And
My
thank you
pleasure.
to all the audience who joined and who are with us at this time. Thank you so much for joining us from Asian Literary Society, Hyderabad chapter. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank